I did fly internationally during a pandemic. Hello YouTube, in today's video I'm going to show you my journey to go from Bordeaux, France to Miami, United States of America. This experience was a bit bizarre because not only was I moving abroad again, but during a pandemic. Stay with me because at the end of the video, I'm gonna go more in detail about all the different procedures in each country. And don't forget to subscribe! The journey starts in Bordeaux. My family and I needed to pack our entire life in 5 suitcases. Wow, that was a challenge. But once we had everything packed, all that was left was to grab our luggages and leave. Au revoir, bonjour! First, we had to drive from Bordeaux to Paris, but we stopped along the way. Don't worry, I will post vlogs about those trips soon. And now finally flying back home. When I got to the airport, right away I noticed the impact of the pandemic. The airport was empty. It was very shocking and sad to see a place that was always very busy to be empty and abandoned. There were also a lot less flights, which meant less chances for people to come to the airports. None of these shops, lounges, or restaurants were open, so you couldn't buy anything. If you did want to buy something to eat, your only option were the vending machines. Hey guys, this is the first time I take off my mask since like 2 hours, and it's just to eat half a croissant. I was very excited to board the flight. I also wanted to see if the flight was going to be full or not. And to my surprise, we were only 30 passengers. I took this to my advantage, of course. I got a whole row to myself. Because it was a day flight, I didn't sleep much, so I watched movies and ate, and ate, and ate. Thanks to all those movies, the 10 hours went a little bit faster than what I expected. So before I knew it, I was already in Dallas. It was very shocking to see almost all the shops and restaurants open. Compared to Paris, Dallas was full of people. In my opinion, it was as if the coronavirus didn't exist. In the flight from Dallas to Miami, there were a lot more people compared to the flight from Paris to Dallas. But man, was I excited when we landed. Now, the only thing left to do was to get my luggages and get a taxi. After being awake for 21 hours, taking 2 planes and flying across the world, I had finally reached my new home in Miami. Yay! I'm finally in Miami. Before closing off this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about what each country is doing in regards of the coronavirus. Let's start with France. In Paris, while I was doing my check-in, there was a plastic wall between me and the airline agent. And that was not the case in Miami nor Dallas. And they had a hand sanitizer stand every 5 gates. While in Miami, I had to walk 20 gates to get hand sanitizer. Like you have seen in the video, all the shops in Paris were closed. While in Miami and Dallas, only around 30% of the shops were closed. And I saw a lot of people acting as if the coronavirus was not a thing. So in Paris, if you were hungry, the only way that you were able to buy food was through a vending machine. And the 3 things I thought that France did very well are, number 1, in the vending machines, which I've mentioned before, they also provided hand sanitizer. Number 2, they had stickers on the floor and on the chairs to make sure that you social distance, and they were very strict on it. And number 3, they were very strict on making sure that you had your mask on at all times. And those 3 things were not the case in the United States. In Paris, nor in Dallas or Miami, did they check my temperature or anything related to having the coronavirus. And when I arrived to the United States, which was for me, Dallas, before going to Miami, they did ask me if I've been to China or Brazil, and that it was recommended to do a 14-day quarantine. And now for the airline. I flew with American Airlines. And I believe that they did some things that were good and some things that they could have improved on. In the airport in Paris, they gave out masks to anybody who did not have one. And in the flight from France to Dallas, they gave out as much food as they did before the coronavirus. And before each meal, they gave hand sanitizer. And it was mandatory to put on your mask after eating. But the flight from Dallas to Miami was a little bit different. Number one, the flight was almost full, which meant that social distancing was not an option. Number two, I did see a lot of people not wearing a mask and they were not told anything. Number three, they did not provide any meal service nor hand sanitizer, even to the people in business, which I thought was a bit rude because it clearly shows that the airline is taking advantage of this and they're spending less money. That is it for this video. I'm back in the States. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!